everyone. I'm just gonna do a sort of just a breakdown of my opinions on the new features and the current state of Reflex. They recently added matchmaking and a quick play feature, which um, to me this is actually a really big deal. I really like the idea, but the implementation has some serious um, flaws. I'm just gonna come out and say this. I know that this has been brought up a couple of times on other, like I brought this up on Reddit. I brought this up in a couple of different places. But I'm just gonna go ahead and make a video just to talk about it. So one thing I want to talk about real quick before I get into the flaws of the quick play feature in Reflex, and that is something that we've observed with countless arena first-person shooters, and it's something that no modern arena first-person shooter is immune to. We have to be extra careful about this, and that is the what I refer to as the 1v1 death spiral. The 1v1 death spiral is due to the fact that 1v1 is sort of a hallmark game mode. It also requires the fewest number of players, and it also has a bunch of other interesting advantages. All of the advantages of 1v1 are based around the fact that it's the highest skill ceiling game mode available. It's the hardest to master. It places the fewest number of variables possible. It's the antithesis of all modern first person shooters. So when I say that, what are the main things that make the more larger scale first person shooters successful? More variables, selectable characters, weapons, um, an economy, all kinds of different aspects, not just limited to the game mechanics, but also limited to the fact that you're with a team. When I join a game, is my teammate going to tilt? Is the guy that I'm playing with mentally dysfunctional? Is everybody in the team too tired? Like, is everybody like a bunch of badasses and like it's a it's almost like flipping a slot machine, right? It's gambling. And when you play 1v1, you eliminate all of that shit. But since it requires the fewest number of players possible, you have other issues that crop up. Well, maybe there's a point in time where there aren't that many people playing, or maybe you can't find somebody within your skill range. 1v1 is going to be the most popular mode in an environment where there aren't really a huge number of players already playing the game. So what happens is everybody begins only playing 1v1. And then when other people want to jump on and play some Team DM or Capture the Flag or God knows what else, all they're going to find is a bunch of people on servers playing 1v1. After a while, it has an effect where fewer and fewer people come back to play the game. Now, I'm sure a lot of you who are listening to this are familiar with the 1v1 death spiral. It basically it results in like fewer people come on, so then 1v1 becomes the only option. A lot of people who do jump on by chance aren't hooked. They're not going to want to play 1v1 because it's not a game mode that you should be pushing on people, and they leave. And then there's even fewer players, and now 1v1 is the only fucking option, period. Right? And then you can't like play 1v1 without feeling stressed out. It's an extraordinarily taxing game mode where it is very hard, I think, for a lot of people to be able to just chill and play 1v1 and have an even game without literally exhausting themselves. I can't imagine. Like I wonder if there are streamers out there who like spend like 8 hours in a row just playing 1v1 over and over again. I find that to be like extraordinarily taxing. Like that person would have to take like 3-hour breaks after every few games or something like that. But yet, I'll watch Moon Moon or somebody play Overwatch just for fucking hours on end because it's not that taxing, because you can just go into autopilot and you can just kind of, and it is a little bit of a gamble. You don't know if the person on your team is going to be playing some weird thing. So we have the exact opposite of all modern big name first person shooters, and then it also becomes the focus without any other way to play. So why do I bring that up? Because it's important to keep that in mind. So when I looked at so when I looked at the quick play feature on Reflex, when I think of quick play, I think of press a button, you're in, you're playing, have fun, right? Well, one of the first things that stuck out to me, and I noticed this even in one of the videos. Hey, look, quick play. Let's like make a whole bunch of decisions that are really just taxing. Let's let's figure out like all of the things that I could possibly want to play and like ignore all the other things. First of all, the problem with this is that that is not what quick play is. Quick play is quick to play. In other words, I press a button, I'm playing. I didn't have to make decisions. It's the developer's responsibility to to grow pair and fucking pick a game mode. And I'll play those. Like it's not my job. Quick play is not a server browser. A server browser serves a purpose of allowing people to decide where they want to play. Maybe there's going to be a certain server. I would never remove server browser from anything. In fact, I would actually suggest server browsers being something that's just a part of every first person shooter. I think it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But when I see quick play, I'm thinking press a button and play the game. So that was my first observation when I saw this. Okay, well, but what about all the extra options? Like, like people who play these games, they want options, right? Like this isn't Overwatch. Sure. And that's where this comes in. That's where you got this feature. A server browser that actually allows me to decide what I want to play, where I want to play. Like I can customize my experience as much as I care. 99% of your player base doesn't give a fuck. No, they will not give a fuck. They don't give a fuck now. They probably didn't give a fuck 10 years ago. The bigger games just are very careful about splintering the player base. So when I look at this, I'm thinking, okay, well, there's a lot of people who are probably going to be playing free for all. Oh, I only got 30 players possible right now, right? Like, how many people are currently playing? That's not a lot of people, guys. That's really not a lot of people. Okay? That's not. Why does this exist? Pick one. Doubles. The only game mode that I can actually imagine working really well, and it actually does feel really, really good when I do actually have an opportunity to play it in a quick play style environment, is doubles, because it doesn't require that many players. It feels really good. It's tight with the game mode. It's got quad damage. There's some, if you could just get voice over IP in the game and you limit it to doubles, you'd be golden right now. You would actually have a genuine version of doubles or of quick play. But so one of the things when I brought this up that was suggested was, well, maybe it should just show me how many people are playing each of them. The reason why that's not a good idea is because then you have seriously re-implemented the server browser, which does that just as well. Watch. Number of players. So this feature is functionally different from this feature, and they should be the strongest versions possible of themselves on their own merits. Quick play should not in any way, shape, or form function like a server browser because it's not a server browser. Quick play is a you just press a button and you're in and you're playing. In fact, I would go as far as to say that the only things that should be in this is doubles. Like literally, there should just be a giant button right here. It says quick play and I just click it and it takes me to doubles ranked and that's it. All 30 players who are playing right now in ranked game mode, or all 20 people are all going to be playing doubles. And that's it. You find me the best matches, the closest people, and we're golden. So there's a lot of reasons why. I mean, I could probably go into a little bit more, but maybe I should just end it here because I think I've said my piece. I don't think these two game mode, I don't think that this should function anything like this. They're 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 nothing alike, not even close. And I understand. Well, I really, really like that there was an attempt to go in this direction, but understand what it is. And you want to do things like weekly events or weekends, double XP weekends, and you might be able to add like one extra feature, but doubles is like still at the very core. And you can have like alternate game modes that are like within doubles that are all derivatives of doubles. So like it's a version of doubles, but there's like an extra power up in the level, or maybe there's a control point in the center of the map. You can do that. You could totally do that. Make sure that it's all within the same realm. If you think about it, when you play Overwatch, Overwatch puts you in King of the Hill and Payload. Well, Payload and King of the Hill are both derivatives of Team DM, but are also both King of the Hill. The Payload moving forward is, the the King of the Hill point. So like, if you think within that realm, you can do a lot with just doubles alone, and you can have different variations. And you can do all kinds of things to tailor that experience, but ultimately it's one button. Anyway, I'm done. I'm just gonna end this right here because I could talk about this topic in depth a lot. If anyone has any questions, I can go into it a lot more. I've already gotten into some arguments with people. One person that I ended up arguing with for a while said that, oh well, quick play isn't something that is popular in something like Urban Terra or something. Like, and I'm thinking, well, fuck Urban Terra, or like it doesn't. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like there are games that just rely on a server browser. Cool, that's awesome for those games. Okay, that's great. In fact, why even add quick play if that's going to be the argument? If you're adding this feature, you add it add it so that it serves its purpose. Okay, I'm done. I hope that this will at least spark some discussion because I really hope that maybe Reflex can get a proper quick play implementation. This is all really good. I'm probably never going to finish my placement matches because there's nobody playing, and there's probably people playing all kinds of other random stuff, and like they were trying to convince me at one point to like queue up for capture the flag. I hate capture the flag with a fucking passion. It's like one of the worst team game modes ever made. And so anyway, yeah, all right, I'm done. I'm done.
Back from the dead.